So we've got about 2 hours of daylight left. It's now like 6:30 something. Um, and I am back inside, um, cooling off. Um, my body and heat does not get along very well. And I had, and still have, a lot of medications that I haven't yet taken today. Um, the ones that do stuff, you might relate, that take away obnoxious symptoms, my hormone replacements, my um, nerve pain medication, my anti-nauseas, my motility medications, uh, my antiarrhythmics, those sort of things, the ones that do stuff. Oh, my and narcolepsy medication, to keep me conscious, semi-conscious, somewhat conscious throughout the day. Those things, we remember. We remember because we're constantly reminded to take them from symptoms screaming in our face that need to be treated. Like if you got a headache and you're a healthy person, you take an OTC. It's easy to remember. The other ones, like my daily RA medications, when I'm not in a flare, um, those type of medications aren't as easy to remember, and sometimes I slip. I'm on a lot of medication. I try to take them as I am prescribed them, but it is a lot to fit in, um, to a very full stomach. I eat pills all day long. Um, I used to take a lot of healthy supplements and things, but I just figured I take since I have no hormones and I'm in perimenopause, and definitely a beauty multivitamin. Who never used to, but it's got things that are good for your skin health and stuff, um, internally, and your hair and nails and such that I need. And it's an addition to a good hearty multivitamin and a prenatal multivitamin, and I alternate back and forth. Where the prenatal multivitamin has more, because you're supposed to be supporting you in a half, and I found that to be the best multivitamin. It also has a lot of DHEA, and omega 3s in it that aren't necessarily in other multivitamins. Of course, multivitamins are not monitored uh, by the FDA or anything, so pick a good quality brand. It's worth the expense. But I used to take like organ meat supplements and all turmeric every day and all sorts of stuff on top of what I take. But the med list just kept growing. And it just was too much. It's too much. Um, we weren't born on all these prescriptions and supplements, and I would prefer to just have the supplements and not the prescriptions, but that's not the case at this point. So, temperature dysregulation forced me back indoors for a while because, oh my God, direct sunlight on my skin. I'm like a freaking vampire. And you can see now that we're back indoors and the lighting is better. Sorry, I was trying to show my cellulite and kind of blacked it out. How pale I am. And this area has been exposed to sun. This area, that that whiteness, that is my natural skin tone. Very, 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 very white. And so yeah, I wanted to do that. Um, where's my boyfriend? This is supposed to be our home day. Um, we are going somewhere. We never get to do anything like that anymore ever. His friend from when he was young, uh, and his family have a cottage up north on a lake, and every year he goes and helps him set the dock up and take the dock in the fall. And I never could have time off because they didn't even like the time off I took for all my medical, so I could never go with. So he's taken his elderly parents up. He's a caretaker for both of his mom. His dad passed away, and his mom's husband. His friend is, and they're going on their first trip up there, opening up the cabin, running the well, setting out the dock, and all that stuff. And as usual, invited Cam to come up. And guess what? No job. So I get to go a place. Um, I get to go a place, and I haven't gone anywhere or done anything like a trip in so long. And this is something that seems within grasp because I was there one time. Well, we've been together about 11 years now. So 11 years ago when we met, within our first year, he took me up to the cabin. And I haven't been there since. And it's a huge sprawling cabin. So there's like 11 bedrooms, and like then there's the front room and the kitchen and the living room and the bathroom, and the rest is just bedrooms. And so there's a place to be all by myself, whenever I need. And it's private property on this little, it's not a main lake, who cares? It's that much more private. Just a little plot of land with a picnic table and a boathouse, and they got a paddle boat, and it might be fun. I could possibly have fun, and at least at the cabin, um, my illness hopefully won't get in the way. As long as I've got a lot of preparing to do, um, a lot of preparing, a lot of things to take into consideration, especially since right after I come back, that following Monday, I'll be doing my colonoscopy, finishing my colonoscopy, that they couldn't get in because I'm too impacted. So most of the time we're up there, I'll be having to have a liquid diet and then a clear liquid diet for the last 2 days. And like most of the time we're up there, liquid diet of any kind of liquid or semi-solid foods. So that'll be sucky, but it is what it is. At least I get to go. Um, and what's more intimidating is I know Cam's going to want to go in town with just the two of us and go walk around. And I know how that went with the art festival. Not so good. Um, 2 years ago, I brought the stroller with me, and I just pushed it around. I didn't end up needing it. I could do it. I wasn't sure, so I brought it just as a safety net. This time we stopped by, and I didn't think I needed it because I didn't need it before. Although I can tell how much I've declined. I just made the assumption the wrong way this time that I didn't need it, and I was struggling so bad in the short time we stayed. Um, to walk 20 minutes was almost an impossibility. So I don't know this time when he wants to go do an all-day trip in the city and not stay at the cottage and spend time with me, how that's going to work out and how I'm even going to manage that, because I can't go crawl away to the bed or crawl away to my chair if we bring it. And we have a small car. we don't have an RV or a trailer even, or a truck. We can't bring everything. We can't bring my stroller and my chair and all that. So I don't quite know what to do. Just this big mama jamma here that I came in to get some more out of. This fucker. This is my med bag. Granted, I have a few extra scripts in here and leftovers and things, but primarily that's just my medication. That takes up a seat all by itself. So, plus having to pack liquid foods because I have to have my own special diet the whole time, and that's gonna take up space. I don't know, we gotta not be naked, so I'm just making sure. It's a little intimidating. It's exciting but intimidating. But his friend invited him to do something today, several weeks ago, and trip is right around the corner, and it was his kindly invitation that is allowing us to do a thing for the first time in years. And so it's only right. So Cam was like, okay, I'll forego my free day and go do this thing with my friend that is going to let us stay with him for a little while at the cabin soon. So next week's gonna be nuts. You gotta prepare in so many different ways. anxietas. But yeah, so came in to medicate and cool off, and I really do want to take my last like bare minimum loops. Um, I'm so drug out today. I have done not much of anything except activities of daily living, walking, and like half of my normal one time walk that I try to do 2 of a day, and lay around. I've had excess caffeine and such, and I just am exhausted, and my muscles are exhausted and fatigued and sore. Um, and as much as I want to, unless that's what he wants to do when he gets back, because he's been gone all day. So, got to spend time with the partner. I'll push myself a little for that. Sometimes you got to rein it in, you know. And I had an incredibly busy and active, psychologically, emotionally, cognitively, and physically, the last 2 days, jam packed, with stuff and things of all manner. And so, I don't know if I will walk, if I'll wait till tomorrow and do it then. And just count today as a recovery day, a rest day, because I've basically done nothing and I feel so fucking dragged out. I can't even describe it to you. It's not post-exertional malaise, thank God. And it's just exhaustion. I am burnt out. I'm exhausted. I've got nothing to give, and if it weren't for my medications and caffeinations and stuff, I got nothing. And so, I kind of went full gear from zero the last 2 days, and I need to keep that in mind that I don't want to tip it over into post-exertional malaise. So, and just be laid up with like flu-like bullshit for 3 days to a week, who the fuck knows. So tomorrow. So today there was a lot of things I wanted to do, lazy things and active things. There's just not enough time in the day. I've been waiting for an opportunity to be home, and in the yard, now that's accessible with my chair for since like before we left here for my hysterectomy in January last year when we were here. And there's just not enough time in a day, and not enough ability in a day. So we'll see what we can fit in when we can fit it in. But I wanted to cool off. He's on his way home, and I was overheated and under medicated, and I wanted to come in and cool off and prep myself for quality time of some kind with him. Hopefully not very actively, not today. And I'm going to give myself, like I said, a free pass on that, the fact that I have done like no walking, basically at all, except daily activities, because I went from like practically nothing, no movement, barely moving and barely doing, to full steam ahead yesterday and the day before, and I think I'm rebounding from that. So I need to rein it in. Physically, I feel clearly that's obvious. Mentally and emotionally and psychologically and all that good stuff. I want to do more. You get a little inch on the leash of chronic illness, and you want a mile. That's how it works. When you get to do a thing, when you get a little freedom, when you get a little joy, when you get a little participation, when you get to live a little, it's always a little tainted, because you always remember the way it used to be, how much more present, how much more participatory, how much more you could give, how much more you could enjoy it than now. And it always has another secondary sting of when you have like constant symptomatic chronic illness forever and ever, that when you do have those good days, they're tarnished by how much better they could be before you got sick. Even though they're good, they could have been more. You could have done more. You could have been there more. And then there's the other layer of wanting to keep going and doing that, even if the next day you're paying for it. It's easy to overdo it on a day you feel good. You got to really watch that. We all know that. There's memes about that. Not too many memes about like wanting to keep going whether you physically feel like it or not, because now you've tasted a slice of life again and you're freaking starved of it. So starved of it that no matter how worn out you are, no matter how much your body is screaming at you, your symptoms are screaming at you, you need to lay off. No matter how poorly you feel, you're still trying to push yourself, despite all the obvious signs it's a bad idea. When you don't feel well because you've tasted life and you want more of it, that's normal. Perfectly normal. This is a weird ass way to live. I had no idea before I got sick how fucking weird chronic illness is. Constantly symptomatic chronic illness is. There's a part of the reason why healthy people don't get it. I mean, you can't. Even sick people don't get it until you've been sick for a while, and every new progression, every change, every year that passes, every time we learn a little bit more about what it is to be ill, all the time, what that's like to your body and your mind and your life and your loved ones and your everything. Even chronically ill people have a learning curve of what to do and what it is. So how can we expect them to know? Most ableism is naive, naivety, innocent ignorance, not intentional. But yeah, I'm gone on for a really long time. So I don't even know if it'll upload. I don't even know if it's worth uploading. I'm just kind of talking at myself. That's what I do with you guys. I just share what's going on for me in a given moment, because I know I'm not the only one. Somewhere out there is some other person, same illness or not, who can absolutely, totally relate to whatever the fuck this business of living this way has to throw at me in a given day. To my heart, my mind, my spirit, my day-to-day goings on, my symptoms. It doesn't matter. Someone out there feels the same way. And that's why I'm so transparent. And that's why I post so much, because, it's constantly symptomatic. So I'm constantly either in it or treating it or working around it. So that it provides me plenty of material, and I never run out because I'm stuck like this forever. So I just post on what's up with me, because I know I'm not the only one. And I'm sorry for that. I hate it. They say misery loves company. In a way, that's true. Because I'm so grateful that I'm not alone. God, before I found Chronic Illness Instagram, I can't tell you what a bad way I was in, and I can't tell you where I'd be if I hadn't found it. The community of people who understand is so necessary. It's the same necessity as it is for NA and AA, for people in recovery, to be with a group of people who really, truly understand everything about this in a way that no one else does, because you can't until you've experienced it day in and day out. But it also is really disturbing and sad to me. I mean, at least in recovery groups, you're in fucking recovery. Like, you're on the other side, hopefully permanently, one day at a time. But maybe for a time, and then you come back again, and then try again until you stay on the other side. but you're on the you're on the recovery, you're on the mend. This is something else. This is like Stranger Things when you went to the upside down world and you ain't never coming back. It's a whole other level of psychological and spiritual warfare and coping that one has to go through day in and day out. And I'm so sad that you have to. Um, but if my ship is going down, um, I'm really glad I'm in good company. That's all. 20 minutes. I should just post this shit to YouTube. Post this shit to YouTube. All right. Yeah. I think I should do whatever I need to do to get ready